I guess the complaints can go away now because we've been asking for a MEAC Championship for the past couple of years because the SWAC still got to play their final game of the season, and then they play the SWAC Championship final, who's going to go to the Celebration Bowl. Well, no one ever anticipated that you're going to have two teams at the top of the ladder fighting to see who's going to win the championship this year. And one team in particular, no one didn't think that this team was going to come out the gate this fast and put on a show in the manner which they've done this season. And here we are. We got the newcomers with head coach Deshaun Jackson and his coaching staff over at Delaware State versus South Carolina State University, ready to go up against one another up in Dover to see who's going to win the MEAC and go to the Celebration Bowl. Well, guys, you know, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on this thing because I'm like, woo, this is going to be a good one. Because you know what? This game, this is going to be a close one. We're going to get into it right after this. Favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos and tap in the free to attempt to come on in. It's number positive vibes. We just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing. Because they're like, Coach, what's your take on this? Listen, I'm looking at the rush and attack with both of these teams. Honestly, truly, looking at what Delaware State has been able to do this year, especially with their running back coach, Clinton Portis, over there in the program, got those running backs seeing things from a different set of lenses out there on the field, those running backs, that is, seeing things from a different set of lenses where they can get out there and process what's going on with the opposing team's defense. One thing for certain I know is this: Jones, if y'all don't got doggone find a way to lock Jones back there in that backfield to keep him from finding a crease to go ahead and break wide on y'all behinds and get up out that thing and get down the sideline and just hit y'all with get chunk yards on your defense, or better yet, take it to the house, guess what? It's going to be a long day. And one thing I can say for the South Carolina State defense and their head coach, Shinsberry, he's going to make sure that they pay close attention to detail. They're going to make sure that they follow the script accordingly as far as what they need to do to bottle him in. Now, looking at, I was looking at one of the games with, I want to say it was either Delaware State versus Morgan State. Morgan State has had one of the more perennial defenses in the MEAC for the past couple of seasons. We could all agree on that, right? And I'm looking at how they had them boxed in, but you had that tackle that did not come up the field to close off that other end, that outside, and he hit that outside, took off, and scored on that play. Now, that's going to be something that everyone's going to have to understand. Jones have some electrifying speed, which that young man, if he's out of there, he's gone. You might catch him, you might not catch him. But also another thing I would say is they can throw the ball as well. Caden Bennett is going to have an impact on this game. I was looking at some things that they've been doing. They actually ran two quarterbacks this season. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, these jokers ran two quarterbacks. Like, wait, what's going on here? So yes, looking back at what Delaware State has been able to do offensively, Caden Bennett at the quarterback position, as well as Jaden Surrey, they, it depends on how the game is going. They'll flip-flop back and forth between the two as far as whichever quarterback, I guess it's whichever quarterback has the hot hand that's going to get turned loose and just go to work on a particular team. Marquise Gillis and James Jones, I mean, it's going to, like I said, them two running backs for Delaware State, they're going to come out there and show and prove, and they're going to put pressure on that defensive front to where they're definitely going to have that bend but not break type attitude in this game. If that rushing attack get going where South Carolina State cannot get them off the field in adequate, in a adequate time, meaning that they can't allow Delaware State to come out there and get a 9-10 yard play, drive and kick in for a touchdown where they eating up clock. South Carolina State, on the other hand, they definitely get out there. They can get after this. One thing for certain is this: South Carolina State, They are definitely a lot more efficient with the ball this season. Their rushing attack is they're rushing for over 100 yards a game, led by none other than Josh Shaw Josh Shaw, Casey Adams. You'll see him on the jet sweeps, in and arounds, things of that nature. They will definitely put him in the backfield, single eye back where he is rushing the ball also. One thing that I like about what Coach Berry is doing this season, they're putting all their speed out there on the field where they're making teams have to defend them from sideline to sideline. So definitely this game is going to be one of those games where you're going to see that South Carolina State defense South Carolina State offense stretch Delaware State defense from sideline to sideline. They are very, when it comes to penalties, they are very disciplined as far as with not getting out there, shooting themselves in the foot, where they're giving teams additional opportunities to take bites from the apple to possibly score points out there on the field. If your team is not able to move the ball down the field, they're not bailing your behind out with a daggone penalty to help you to keep the chains moving for you to keep going. So that's something else that I like about this team as well. Defensively, I want to see how well South Carolina State is going to be able to cover those Delaware State receivers, because you'll have Delaware State coming out there doing their thing with offensive coordinator Nemo Washington, getting that pass attack going with the Hornets quarterbacks. Marquise Gillis and Jones, those are the running backs for the team. But the Hornets can throw the ball down the field to Terrence Roan as well as Philippe Wesley. Caden Bennett definitely going to come out there looking to make an impact in this game if he's that guy out there throwing passes to the Delaware State Hornets receivers. Last game, if I'm not mistaken, basically South Carolina State is going to have to prepare for both quarterbacks, Caden Bennett and Jaden Surrey. So, like I said, it's going to be we're going to see exactly how this is going to go. Caden Bennett, he'll come out there, throw some passes to the receivers out there on the field. Then again, you'll have Surrey out there. He'll be running the offense completely for the whole game. So that's going to be something to really keep your eyes on as far as what's going to go down in this game. Coach Washington, the offensive coordinator for Delaware State, definitely going to look to try to have some tricks up his sleeve to catch South Carolina State catch them off their game in this game. South Carolina State, like I stated before, they're going to have to find a way to keep the pressure on Delaware State quarterback Jaden Surrey and Caden Bennett, forcing them to get the ball out their hands quick and early in this game to where they're making decisions without completely processing them. Like, they're going to see some things during the pre-snap reads, and once that ball is snapped, you already know South Carolina State, they are one of those teams that's going to change them and do some things differently. That's going to force those Delaware State quarterbacks to make decisions that could be costly in this game. They did have, I think they, North Carolina Central, I think there was a interception, pick six that was thrown in that game because North Carolina State was able to force the Delaware State quarterbacks to make a decision on throwing a pass in which they thought the receiver was wide open and they weren't. That ball ended up going back the other way. So this is something that I'm definitely waiting to see how the turnover game is going to work also between these two teams. The Hornets defense, they got to have to find a way to keep Bulldog quarterback Atkins contained in the pocket. He's definitely another one of those problems as well, because he can pull that ball down, take off and run, call his own number, and guess what? He's going to be a nightmare to contain because he got wheels. He can get out there and go. William Atkins IV, he can get out there slaying that ball as well. The game that they played against North Carolina Central, I believe last week, he was able to throw for 314 yards, completing 24 out of 36. So this young man is definitely one of them ones. If he get hot, he's going to be able to place that ball where it is that he want to place it. Even though he was sacked 5 times, that young man was still putting it. He was out there throwing them dimes to those different receivers out there on the field. So Delaware State definitely going to have to make sure that they're able to contain. Another thing that I did see with South Carolina State that a lot of folks is not doing, the Bulldogs like to utilize their tight end out there on the field, throwing past the Ruffin, in which he'll run a seam route or stick route. If the quarterback's in trouble, he'll just leak out the backfield. He's right there wide open because no one's paying him any attention out there on the field. Again, Delaware State this week on defense are going to have to pay attention to details when it comes down to what Coach Berry and that coaching staff is going to do on both sides of the ball. This is going to be one of those games, I do believe. It's going to come down to the quarterback play. Both teams can rush the ball. The Hornets' rush attack is their strong suit in this game. they can throw the ball down the field without any problems. I mean, like I said before, their quarterback can get the ball down the field to the open receivers out there, Caden Bennett and Saucer. The thing is going to be who's going to be able to have the least amount of mistakes out there on the field. We already know that South Carolina State is championship ready. They've been in this position before. They understand and know what they need to do, and they're going to be looking to come out there and get themselves solidified to go back to that Celebration Bowl, beating Delaware State in this game. Right now, to be totally honest with you, it's very difficult for me to pick a winner in this game because Delaware State has come into this thing this season and has shocked everybody. Could we see an upset this weekend against South Carolina State? It could very well happen. Is anyone anticipating on Delaware State to come in there and upset South Carolina State? The Delaware State folks do. There's some folks that's around the country that, they're watching what Deshaun Jackson is doing and saying to themselves like, hey, you know what? I think I might want to become a part of that next season. And recruits are going to become knocking at his door, in which that program, with what he's been able to do this season, is going to be something that folks are going to have to watch for a little while now. Like he stated before, they've been a little brother for a long time. It's time for them to become big brother. And in this game, he could very well pull it off. Will Coach Berry and the coaching staff be able to find a way to get over the hump against Delaware State? We're going to see. Because, as I stated before, Coach Berry, somehow, some way, just watching him over the past couple of this is his second year at South Carolina State, but watching him at Benedict College, he's always been able to find a way to get his kids to go to a different gear for them to get the big one when they need to. So we're going to see exactly how this is going to go. South Carolina State comes out there, find a way to shut that rushing attack down, it's going to be a long day for Delaware State. But leave your comments down below and let me know who do you have winning this game between South Carolina State and Delaware State. But you know what? Your favorite coach is going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.